Hi everyone, hope you're doing great with your sewing projects and welcome to my channel. In this video, you are going to learn how to make a clear tote bag using transparent PVC. I use 0.5 millimeter thick PVC for the body and 0.8 millimeter for handles. You can find details about the material in description, so let's get started with today's tutorial. This is the final dimension of my bag. To make a bag with the same measurements, you need to cut two 40 by 42 centimeters rectangles. Then you need to cut out 3 by 6 centimeters rectangles from top and 6 by 6 centimeters squares from bottom corners. This is our final pattern. However, before we start to sew, we should cut 2 more lines to make the openings where handles are going to be stuck and pressed in the final step. Draw a line 3 centimeters below the top edge on your pattern. This is going to be our guideline. Then mark and punch these 4 tiny holes, 6 and 8.5 centimeters from each side on the guideline. And then draw and cut these 2.5 centimeters long lines using your cutter. This is my own pattern made of plexiglass and it makes the cutting step so easy. I also have another pattern for handles which looks like a ruler. It is 2.5 centimeters wide and 70 centimeters long. You can laser cut your patterns on this material to make durable and reusable patterns. As you may already noticed, this pattern is slightly different from the pattern illustrated before. These extra holes are actually where we are going to press buttons. I used to punch them while cutting the vinyl in the first place, but now I leave it for the last step when I punch holes with handles all together. So please ignore this difference and stick to the graphics. Now, before we start to sew, let's take a quick look at the whole process in graphics so you can get a clear idea of what we are going to do. The bottom line shown in purple is where we start. Next, we separate 2 pieces of vinyl and for each part we fold the top edge in half. That means exactly along the guideline, and then we top stitch the blue line shown in the picture. On the following step, we sew side edges again with 1 centimeter seam allowance and finally the corners shown in blue. So now that you have a clear vision of the whole process, let's make a perfect clear tote bag together. Use your roller presser foot and put the stitch length degree on 2.5. Make sure to backstitch a couple of times at the beginning. Take your time and gently sew all the way along. We need a double stitch seam down here because we want it to lay nice and flat and our bag to stand stable in the end. So after having done a single standard seam with 1 centimeter seam allowance, separate 2 pieces, roll one side to have more space and a better control while sewing, fold and press the seam to one side using your finger pressure and do a nice top stitch. Now we are going to sew the edges along the top. Fold this part in half and put corners together. Remember, we had a guideline here on our pattern, but we cannot draw any lines on clear vinyl. You may want to try water-soluble or vanishing markers, but I really don't recommend this and I think it is unnecessary as long as you cut your vinyl accurately. You can use wonder clips for this part if you find it hard to hold the vinyl in place while sewing. Again, don't forget to backstitch a few stitches at both the beginning and at the end. Repeat all these steps for the other side and you're done with tricky parts. Put the right sides together and sew both side edges with 1 centimeter seam allowance. Now it's time for boxing the corners. Make sure to fold and press the side seam on the opposite side to the bottom seam to have a flat surface. It gives us a perfect and professional look. Repeat this step for the other side and you're done with sewing the body of your bag. I really don't like to leave straps edges raw and untouched, so I do these ornamental stitches on handles just to make them more cute. Once you're done, hit the body to make it more flexible and easier to flip it inside out. I'm a bit obsessed with excess threads, so I remove them using lighter. It doesn't actually melt since I use polyester threads, but it goes away somehow. Just be careful not to damage any stitches. Now stuck straps inside the holes we've already made. Align them exactly on one another, find and mark the center and punch these 2 holes where we are going to press buttons. I used these snap fasteners, which are pretty easy to use. All you need is one of these hand press tools. So this is our cool, fully clear tote bag. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to subscribe my channel if you like this kind of content, and thank you for watching. I see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.